So are we seeing a complete meltdown of the stock market? Are we seeing a crash of the stock market? Hard to believe. After just 3 months ago, we were at all-time highs, and the American economy was one that the world envies. Well, what a crazy week it was indeed. This is a week, a moment in time that is going to be talked about for years to come, for decades to come. So are we seeing a complete meltdown of the stock market? Are we seeing a crash of the stock market? Hard to believe. After just 3 months ago, we were at all-time highs, and the American economy was one that the world envies. So I made a video actually on that, on the stock market crash just recently. So go there and check it out. What in the world is going on? This is something we have not seen for a long, long time, if we have ever seen this. This kind of a downturn is just, it's horrific. It's shocking. And there are reasons for it. And we all know what they are. Unless you live in a cave, you haven't been keeping up with things. But how does that affect us as mere mortals, as day traders? We make up a small percent of the market, but we want to continue trading. So that's what we're going to look at in this weekly analysis, which is anything but normal. And I'll be straight up with you. In times like this, sometimes it's better to do nothing. I'm not saying that you shouldn't trade, and that's totally up to you. Maybe you were one of those last week that tried to catch a falling knife, and you did catch the falling knife and you made some good profit. Well, congratulations. But that's very, very risky, trying to trade during these times. So what can we do? Well, we continue on. We follow our strategy, we trust our strategy, and we protect our capital. But sometimes that will mean sitting on your hands, doing nothing. What we can do is react to what we see. All right, people are asking me all the time, is gold going to keep going down? And I will give you a quote that I heard recently from a very famous trader. He says, well, my crystal ball is out for maintenance this week, so I can't help you with that question. So as we go ahead and jump into the charts and start this weekly analysis, which is anything but normal, all right, but starting on the 7th of April, 2025, as well as the charts that we will look at, we will also have a brief look at the high impact news that's coming out for this week. And then for sure, I will share my pending orders. That's the trade setups that I have in place for this upcoming week, starting on the 7th of April, 2025. Of course, it's always prudent to be aware of the high impact news items that are coming out. And for that, we look at our go-to website, forexfactory.com. And I'll only bring your attention to two items. And that is the official cash rate, the interest rate for the New Zealand economy. That's on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, very, very late, 1 a.m. in Southeast Asia, that's the FOMC meeting minutes that will be released. Two big items. However, the market is obviously a lot less concerned with unemployment figures and CPI data and things like that than they are with tariffs. All right, but it's very prudent to be aware of these high impact news items, so be sure and check forexfactory.com for your local times. Okay, I don't usually get started off with gold, but I am in this week starting right off the bat with XAU USD, and I have a buy limit on that, okay, and the buy limit is at 3011. All right, we see that gold has already started down there, and it did actually touch 3011, but then moved up a little bit during Friday's closing U.S. session. So will it continue down and then bounce off of that and start back up? Well, I'll tell you straight up, guys, this is a risky trade. All right, so if you're going to take this buy limit, trade small, a small lot size, and use a stop loss, because we don't know. There's likely to be a continuing washout on Monday when the Asian Pacific market opens, so gold could continue down. On this day alone, gold dropped 1,300 pips, wiped out all of the profit from the previous week in one day. So this is the best that I can analyze according to the strategy that I use. That normally, although these are not normal times, we should see gold come down, touch that support level again. It was support the previous week and support from Friday, and so I have a buy limit at EP entry price 3011. Again, trade small and use a stop loss. My favorite pair that I like to trade, as most of you know, is the pound New Zealand. And previously, a couple of weeks ago, we hit an all-time high. Well, at least the high since 2015. Previous high was 10 years before that. And then on Friday, we just saw this craziness. It just blasted off like a SpaceX missile. Is it going to come back down? Well, I don't have a trade open. I'm going to wait and see what the market sentiment is going to be. So no pending order on the pound New Zealand. And then looking at the major U.S. pairs, I do have a buy limit on the Euro US with the entry price at 1.0946. Needs to come down just a little bit more to our support level. Previously it was resistance, it's now support. And I'm basing this on a continuing decline of the US dollar. So a buy limit on the Euro US with the entry price at 1.0946. The odd US, it's anybody's guess. Guys, this is craziness. This is just insanity. The last time that this price got onto the Australian US dollar was something like 20 years ago. Okay, it's wiped out all the profit from the previous 5 or 10 years. So it was trading slightly below 60 cents, meaning for 60 cents US, you could buy 1 Australian dollar. And you know, this is just, what can you do? It's impossible to analyze anything like this. So in this case, with the Australian New Zealand currencies, the odd US and the New Zealand US, it's best just to sit on our hands, wait and see what's going to happen. Are we going to see a continuing decline with these two currencies, or was this just a temporary knee-jerk reaction to the news from last week? We wait and see. With the pound US, a little bit more stability here, so I do have a buy limit on this one. We're expecting it to come back down to our previous support level at 1.2872. So a buy limit on the pound US. And the USD CAD, again, just forget it. You know, all the way down and all the way right back up where it was in 2 days. So, you know, again, this candlestick sandwich across here, there's just too much going on between the US and Canada to have any idea really which way this currency pair is going to go. The UJ, this one is very reliable. Okay, the USD JPY, I have a sell limit and let that one come back up to our resistance level. It was previous support, has now become resistance at 147.27. And if you took this last week, I told you to sell on market open, a market execution order right here, you would have done very well. It was almost zero drawdown, and then you would have done very well in spite of the market conditions last Thursday and Friday. So a sell limit on the UJ at 147.27. And of course, we just look at crypto right quickly, mainly Bitcoin, and it's not doing anything. On the weekly chart, it's bearish, but it's just, you know, we've got this candlestick sandwich here just going sideways, goes up, hits our trend line, comes back down, hits our trend line. So not really much you can do with Bitcoin. If you're trading that, the only really way you can trade that is scalping. There is no long-term direction on Bitcoin. And then as usual, I like to look at the indexes and we'll just show you what's happening. And as I've been saying, the JPY continues to get stronger. Made a huge move up before falling down during the closing session, but still quite an advance during the entire week, last week. And then the DXY, well, continuing to drop. Okay, it did make some kind of a recovery on Friday, but it was really low on the Thursday when the tariffs were announced. And this decline has been going on since the beginning of the year. Actually, on that first big red candle was the day of inauguration of the president, 20th of January. And it's just been a continuing decline since then. And we are going to see, and I keep saying this, I've been saying it all year, we are going to continue to see a decline of the US dollar. So that's what I'm basing my bullishness with on the some of the US pairs that I've been sharing with you. Okay, that's a wrap from me, guys, for this weekly analysis. It's not been a normal weekly analysis. I understand that, but we are not in normal times. The world is, as we know it, is changing, and we have to adapt to the changes. As mere mortals, as I say, as day traders, the best thing we can do is trust our strategy, follow our strategy, but most importantly, of course, protect our capital. And don't let your emotions get the best of you. Don't be greedy. All right, don't overtrade, don't overlot. You don't need to trade every day. You don't need to trade all the time. The market will be here tomorrow. It will be here next week, and it will be here next month. It will continue to be here. All right, so if you take a break from trading, that's just fine. Let things settle down, and maybe you'll feel more confident about your trading. So don't forget also that I do have a free trading course for those of you that have found this channel and you're new to trading and you'd like to see if it's a good fit for you. This video here that I'm putting on the screen, this will give you access to a 10 video tutorial. It's everything you need to know to set up the foundation to get started. It's a good introduction to let you decide whether or not trading is a good fit for you. So if you want access to that, just go to this link here, is below in the description, and I'll be glad to get back to you if you're interested. Any other comments or questions, leave them below and I will get back to you. I reply to all comments and questions. All right, I hope you have a great week wherever you are in the world. And of course, don't forget, be kind to yourself, be kind to others.